Did you know that texting while driving is one of the most common distractions that takes drivers' eyes off the road? Imagine that someone you cared about was killed by a driver that was texting and driving. All you can think about is, was that text really worth someone losing their life? According to an AAA poll, 94% of teen drivers acknowledge the dangers of texting and driving, but 35% of them admit to doing it anyway. Also, 21% of drivers involved in fatal accidents were distracted by their cell phones. I will start off my speech with the dangers of texting and driving. Then I will proceed to explain the possibilities that could be present when texting and driving, and also finishing with ideas of reducing the amount of texting and driving as much as possible and injuries possible. When was the last time you were in a car driving and you either heard or felt your phone go off because you either got a text or a phone call? When you receive that text message or call, it takes your concentration away from the road and draws more attention to your phone. According to Luke Amin, it takes an average of 3 seconds after a driver's mind is taken off of the road for any road accident to occur. This is the bare minimum amount of time it takes, and it is surprisingly small. 3 seconds is the time it takes to turn your ignition on when starting your car. Texting and driving is banned in 46 states in the United States. Although people that ban texting and driving think that they're being harsh, they really aren't. They're just trying to make the roads safer and trying to minimize the distractions as much as possible. Eating and drinking, talking on the phone or to a passenger, using a GPS or adjusting the radio are some of the other distractions that can cause accidents. All of these are ways people take their concentration off of the road and causing accidents. Texting and driving requires you to at least have one hand off of the steering wheel, making it difficult to concentrate on the road and more on your handheld device. Now that I've explained some of the dangers of texting and driving, I'm going to explain the different scenarios you'd be put into. Studies show that the chances of a crash because of any reason is increased by 23 times when you're texting. Even if the crash is another driver's fault, you will probably be able to avoid it if you had been looking at the road instead of your phone. The National Safety Council reports that cell phone use while driving leads to 1.6 million crashes each year. Nearly 330,000 injuries occur each year from the accidents caused by texting and driving. 1 out of every 4 accidents in the United States is caused by texting and driving. If one is texting and driving, they have a high chance of causing an accident and have high chances of it becoming fatal to you or the person you crashed into. On an average of 37,000 people die in automobile accidents in the United States each year, and every year about 421,000 people are injured in crashes that have involved a driver who is distracted in some way. Texting and driving is 6 times more likely to get you in an accident than being drunk and driving. The average speed in the U.S. is about 55 miles per hour. Taking 5 seconds to read a text in this time means the driver has traveled a length of a football field. Finally, I'm going to explain a few ways to reduce accidents possible. If you can wait until you have reached your destination, please do that. Or if you think it is absolutely necessary and important that you must look at your phone right away, find an area that is safe to pull over and pull over to respond. If having your phone too close to you is a distraction, try putting it in the trunk or maybe in the back seat out of reach of you, or even shutting it off. In conclusion, texting and driving not only has effects on the driver, but also can have an effect on the victim, either in the same car or in another car involved. Please think about others before looking at a text before someone gets seriously injured or even killed.